What the fuck's in there?
A car going 200 miles an hour.
No. No. 18 cars.
You're listening to the Draft in Hand podcast with your hosts, Greg, Ian, and Mark.
So Ontario is back into lockdown.
4.0, 6.0, 7.0. Preparation A through G didn't work, so are we at Preparation H?
Lockdown H.
I figure we're at this point already.
Fuck, who knows? And
Dr. Evil could probably had a better plan together.
oh, you're not wrong, man. You're not. It's a pretty good one. We were just chatting beforehand. It's like, yo, if you're outside with a dog, if you're walking a dog, you're fine. Your dog's like your hall pass from high school, the hall key, or whatever thing you had to go to the bathroom in high school.
So you got privileges if you have a dog.
You have privileges.
Special privileges.
In fact, you don't have privileges. Your dog does.
Actually, yeah, your dog does.
You don't have shit. So we're thinking, it's like, okay, Mr. Ford, I'm just taking out the garbage.
What if they turn golf courses into dog parks? Could I bring my golf clubs and say I'm at the dog park with my dog?
Should you just be able to take your dog to the golf course anyway?
Well, if the dog's obedient enough, they keep the birds away.
That's true, I guess. Just pick up your dog poop. Well, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Although you do have a greens crew that are around enough to like when make sure it doesn't, stay around and shit
when
like
I
that.
see people on the course leave beer cans and stuff on the grass, that drives me nuts enough. Like, I would hate people like leaving dog shit on the course. Like,
terrible.
You drive it over with your fucking thing or something.
With even a wheelie bag,
rake it or something. You're or you just step in it by accident. Even I step in it and I'm playing, I'd be pissed.
Ball rolls up to it.
Play where it lies, bitch.
Where it lies. Just fucking shit everywhere. Shit all over your golf clubs. That's the excuse to huck your 4-iron straight into the pond. No, that's not a bad idea. Take your dog to the golf course. Nice caddy. Companion.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Taking out the garbage, though. I just think you take it out the garbage. Doug Ford's like, hey, what are you doing at the curb? Why are you taking out the garbage? Sorry, Mr. Ford, I'm just taking out the trash.
You gotta be from the top of the driveway, and you gotta curl it down the fucking driveway.
Oh yeah, on the wheels,
yeah.
the garbage bin itself, the whole bin. Yeah. You gotta curl it down the end of the road. Or
I feel bad for Ian's house.
Remember the episode of The Simpsons where Homer was in charge of garbage disposal?
Yeah,
and
trash man can.
The garbage man
and
can.
He spent all the union money on making himself look fancy, and then he had no money to pay for his.
But the garbage man came and took out your garbage for you. Is that what's going to happen, Doug? Mr. Ford? They're gonna come and
they have a union. They're not going to do that.
No, no. But he might blow the entire budget in 1 month or a week. How long was it for Homer? How long until they were the union?
It was like 3 days.
In Springfield, the union came to his doorstep and was like, "Listen." They're all singing and stuff, and then you listen here. We need to get paid. They don't have that accent specifically, but almost.
It's pretty European.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Trust me, I'm in one, Greg. It's pretty European.
Pretty unions.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, welcome to the show today.
We haven't introduced ourselves yet.
No, that was just our pre-ramble.
Fuck.
I'm Greg.
I was gonna think, and I was like, did I not say my name yet? I'm like, yeah, I'm Mark.
That's Mark. Ian's day-to-day with a weather headache. I had one right on the trade deadline too, like something to do with the weather and my sinuses.
He gets them all the time too. Like he'll just randomly go down and I just got migraine for 2 days straight.
So he's DTD.
I saw him playing Path of Exile though, so
on your fantasy thing. Yeah, he said he just wasn't down to yell about the. You know what, Mark? You want to talk about the Detroit Red Wings for 45 minutes in spite of Ian? I do.
We made a pretty good trade at the trade deadline.
We haven't actually talked about the trade deadline. I'm opening my beer here. There we go. What do you trade deadline? Let's talk about trade deadline. It's a week later. We're very reflective. We're not so in the moment now. Like all those sleep deprived hockey analysts.
Could say it now. I'm gonna go away from Detroit. Getting Foligno for the Leafs looks like a fucking genius play now. With Hyman, looks like he's down for a few weeks.
Okay, so that just came out today. So we're recording this on Monday, April 19th. So this evening it just was announced that Hyman is out for 2 weeks.
Minimum 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Minimum 2 weeks.
With a sprained MCL.
On the same knee he tore his ACL.
I was just about to ask you that.
It's the exact same knee.
Okay, did that cost... Okay, the same way... So, the Kadri suspension a few years ago against the Bruins...
He played through that playoff, though.
Right, but people look at that Kadri suspension and say, hey, Kadri cost the Leafs the series by virtue of him not being in the lineup.
Yeah, that's minutes have to be distributed to other people.
But that Hyman injury, was that the same series or was that a different series?
Yeah, I think it was the same series. Because Hyman came back mid-season the year after, I think.
Yeah, around mid-season. Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, partway through. But that almost cost them too. It was both, because there's no way you could tell Hyman was not 100%.
It's like when Brett Cecil got hurt for the Blue Jays. You're just fucked.
Fuck, we were at that game. That was rough.
Yeah, no, it's something you can't replace.
No, absolutely not.
You might be able to replace it with Foligno, but imagine it just sucks you don't have two of them in the lineup anymore.
Well, it's funny you say that, because going into the deadline a couple weeks ago, we said, what do the Leafs need? The Leafs need another... First, it was another Jake Muzzin. Realistically, a second Jake Muzzin. Clone Jake Muzzin and clone Zach Hyman, and we're happy.
Yeah, more skilled Bogosian, which is what you would like.
Yeah, and exactly, literally, yeah. And what's Foligno? Foligno's as close to a Zach Hyman as
Zach Hyman
you could get.
Yeah, just
maybe
the skill. He's just a lot older, and
yeah,
I say he's a bit more of a pest, and a bit more of a dirty player. But
well, you make the Zach Hyman to Brad Marchand comparison.
Yeah, that's in terms of total skill and package of a like.
But Foligno's more of the pest than Hyman is on the Brad Marchand scale.
Yeah,
not high end scoring, obviously,
not
but just
like Hyman.
But in terms of the peskiness, he's like a peskier.
Yeah,
Hyman.
He'll fill Hyman's role to like 75%, which is probably all you're gonna ask from him anyway, and that's probably all what you'd expect.
And leadership in the dressing room, etc. What did you think of the Leafs deadline? Now that we're talking about Leafs,
I like Foligno. I remember his dad played here, so you definitely know the guy. And the guy had no movement, so you definitely know he wanted to be here.
What do you think about him wearing number 71?
I don't know. I like number 71.
Better than the previus 71?
Oh, fuck that guy.
You know what I thought?
We shall not speak his name.
Okay, so this was the first... This
guy is he's probably the worst player that's ever played in the NHL. Like, he's up there, man. He's Aki Berg level bad. How do you get suspended 10 games before you even play a real game?
Hopping off the bench defending Phil Kessel against the Giants. Oh, man. Okay, so when did he sign that deal? When was that deal signed? And who signed it, by the way?
July 1st. I think Nonis.
Was it Nonis? Okay, do you remember which year it was?
The year I went to Blues Fest. Me and my buddy Josh were at a bar in Ottawa when he signed the deal.
Oh, God.
It was the same year Franz Nielsen signed that massive deal in the trade, and Andrew Ladd signed the deal with the Islanders, I think.
Okay, so I had been sort of on the inside of this, so I'd kind of done my internship and stuff with Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment, so I'd kind of seen the inside. It was that, seeing the marketing campaign for that player, the he's arrived. Remember that he's arrived campaign? You go on like the TTC
Clark comparison?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was the first time I've ever, and I think really the only time I've been embarrassed for the Maple Leafs, not front office in like hockey side, but in front office in terms of like the business side. I'm like, I'm embarrassed for you idiots.
Yeah, they clearly never watched him play a single game in New Jersey.
Here's the thing that nobody wants to tell you, Mark. A lot of people that work for organizations, they don't know anything about that. They're just there because of the hype, and they like the sport.
They're just doing their job.
They're doing their job. Maybe they're great at it, but a lot of them don't know hockey.
Yeah, I know. They're just doing their job. They're just getting a paycheck. They're told do this. They're told do X. They're doing X.
Sure. And a few of them make decisions, and they're no better. They've just been there longer.
Oh yeah.
And have kissed enough feet, basically. But you could not a single. I'm like, oh my God, not a single one of you people have watched this guy. Hey, he had a 30-goal season. And how many goals did he score from 3 feet from the goal line?
Yes.
That's okay. Number 71, Nick Foligno.
Oh yeah, for your new Toronto Maple Leafs.
For your Toronto Maple Leafs. So for Nick Foligno and Stefan Noesen, we trade a first, a fourth, and another fourth. One of the fourths go to one of the teams, another fourth goes to the other team, I think.
Yeah, and I think they were fourths at the Leafs. Like, they have a lot of. I think extra late round picks.
I don't think they do anymore. They did last year.
Oh, it was last year.
Last year they had a ton of picks. And they signed that college guy.
They signed Amirov too.
Yeah, draft pick from last year. But that first round pick, so we were talking, let's bring up that thing we were just talking about with that first round pick. Do you think this was an overpayment by the Leafs?
Not really.
Not really?
In any normal season, like, whatever.
Considering that Hall, without changing the subject, I don't want to go, but Hall went for a second. So just in comparison, you put the trade side by side, it looks like the Leafs.
Yeah, it's just because both had no movements. That's the only reason why, like, I find the Leafs lost the trade if you compare it to the Boston one.
Yes. Yeah. Compared to Boston, the Leafs had to pay more, obviously.
Yeah, and if the Leafs go further than Boston, then you won the trade. That's how you're gonna have to compare it, is who goes further in the playoffs.
And if the Leafs win the cup, cross your fingers, but it doesn't matter what this trade was. It doesn't matter. Trade all your draft picks. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly.
If you win the thing.
No, exactly. And the Leafs still have a plethora of prospects from the last 3 seasons.
So many.
Yeah, so like not having a draft picks for the next season or two might not technically be a bad thing, because you have so many prospects that you need to develop now to keep your fucking gas, like foot on the gas.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's worried about the 18-year-old draft this year. We need to develop the 19, 20-year-olds we have now.
How many more Timothy Liljegren and Rasmus Sandin and Rodion Amirov do you need, really?
Maybe, they're probably just holding them in like...
Robertson's a second-round pick. That's like a bonus first-round pick.
That's a fucking stud.
That's a bonus first-round pick, basically.
That's like winning a boat. That's like having a boat in the mystery box when you like could have had a boat.
Could have had a boat, but instead you have Nicholas Robertson. Okay, here's something just for those, because I know there's the conversation. There has been the conversation. Oh, did the Leafs overpay or whatever? And I just want to give an example of why I think the Leafs overpaid a little bit. But here's an example of why I think they may have had to. So take 2 teams that were interested in Nick Foligno, and I'm making this up. Maybe it was, let's just use Nashville as an example, as a fringe playoff team. They're in the playoffs, kind of. They were a buyer, kind of. But let's just say that they're like a mid-team. They don't expect to get very far, but they're in the playoffs. So say the Predators and the Leafs are both interested in Nick Foligno, just as an example. So the Toronto Maple Leafs call up the Jackets, say, hey, we'll give you basically whatever the package they gave them, here's let's call it a second and a fourth for Nick Foligno. They offer a second and a fourth. Jackets like, okay, cool, we'll get back to you. Preds call them up. Preds call up the Jackets. We'll offer you a second and a fourth. Exact same package as the Leafs. Now, if you're the Jackets, if you're Mr. Finland, the GM of the Jackets, you look at those 2 teams, you look at Nashville, you look at Toronto, and you say, well, I think my guess is that Nashville's going out first round. And the Leafs are probably, the odds of the Leafs making it further and thus having a lower draft spot is higher. I would take the Nashville Predators second round pick and thus the Nashville Predators package, because the Predators are going out probably early and then the Leafs are maybe making it to the Final Four or whatever. So the Leafs second round pick would basically be like 60th-ish, and the Predators would be like 45th. I'm taking the 45th one, obviously. So, all right, Kyle, you got to sweeten the package. You got to give me a higher draft pick in there. And, well, the only higher one than a second is a first.
And you hope it's a 28th or a 31st.
You hope it's low 20s or in the 30s.
High
30s.
high 20s, low 30s.
Exactly. So, if so facto, I think the Leafs overpaid a little bit, but I don't think they overpaid by, they didn't really have any other option.
Hey, man, you got to overpay to win.
I do agree. I agree with that, though. And like we said, it's not an overpayment if you win the thing.
Yankees have proved it for years and years.
The Yankees.
Actually, every baseball team has proved it for years and years.
Have the Yankees drafted anybody ever?
Yes.
Oh, they can't. I guess they can't.
Dude, the Yankees are one of the best drafting and developing
They also
teams
can't
ever
trade
in
picks.
Baseball, dude.
Well, that's the key too. They also develop like crazy.
The guys they give money to are the guys they develop. I
guess they drafted Jeter.
Stanton, or they didn't draft Stanton, Judge, Sanchez,
not A-Rod,
Jorge
though.
Posada.
Jorge. Who's their
oh my gosh. So many people. Robinson Cano.
What's their closer's name? Oh my gosh.
Mariano Rivera.
Yes, that guy.
Like, so many fucking, I hate praising the Yankees, but man, they know how to, they are baseball.
Yeah, but that's why you have to hate those teams.
I know.
You hate those teams because they're so good.
It's like Tampa Bay now. Like, they're just shitting out young players. It's like, oh yeah.
Imagine Tampa Bay with
we got cap trouble. Nope, we're just going to poop out a kid that's going to be on entry level.
Are we talking about the Tampa Bay Rays? Or are we talking about Lightning?
Sorry, yeah. They're like two god teams that are just drafting and developing, and just they're like the Lightning are going to be at the top like the Yankees were in the early 2000s, I think, for the NHL.
You said this a week or two ago that this is the Leafs season to go for it because they're no longer in a division with Boston and Tampa.
Yeah,
Florida. And Florida, yeah, true. And the thing with Boston and Tampa is, in order to beat them, do you have to cheat? And I don't mean on the ice, I mean literally in the front office. I'm talking Nikita Kucherov, and I'm talking basically swindling, like straight up Taylor Hall. That was we look at it, that was a steal.
Probably everybody knew Taylor Hall was going to Boston when the season started.
It was like on the short list.
It was either I'm signing with Boston or I'm going to go to Boston at the trade deadline with retained salary.
I did hear it also could have been the Islanders. There was like an outside shot.
Yeah.
But we're like, regardless, short list.
Yo, there was doings done in that.
Lou Lamoriello said, listen, kid, you want to play with us? You want to play here? And then the Palmieri trade happened. Okay, sorry, but Leafs. Riley Nash. Riley Nash has been a pest over the past couple years against us. He's going to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, he pisses me off, so I like him. You think Sabrin plays tomorrow just to beat the shit out of somebody for hurting Hyman?
Oh.
I'm all for it, and I fucking hate the guy, but I think a message has to be sent tomorrow.
Oh, he's suspended.
Sabrin? No, he played a couple games ago for the Leafs.
No, the, what's his name? Edler.
No.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I don't care that Edler's suspended. You go out there and punch somebody else's face off.
Oh, just punch a guy.
Oh, yeah. Like, Leafs got to send out a message that they're not a bunch of pansies after yesterday.
Maybe.
But yeah, going back to where.
Oh, sorry, trade deadline. Riley Nash. Well, Riley Nash is
just talking about. I was just going on about a pest.
What do you know about Ben Hutton?
Apparently, he sucks. He's a good locker room guy, but
fuck.
As soon as he steps on the ice, he's shit.
So is he gonna be the next?
My buddy Josh, because he was on the Ducks.
Yeah.
He was like the.
He's a Ducks fan, right?
Yeah, he was the Ducks' first defenseman, and it wasn't even close.
Is he our new Jake Gardner? But not like a Jake Gardner skill, but Jake Gardner, we hate on him. We haven't seen him play.
He's not gonna play anything. He's a locker room dude, so he's gonna definitely get a good side of the media.
He's gonna do the interviews. He's gonna smile. He's gonna sing whatever the fuck karaoke, overplayed meme or whatever.
He's just gonna sit there in the taxi squad, keeping the guys' hopes up.
Yeah, really.
You always need a guy like that, though, man.
100%. You need those guys. It sounds like they have a room full of them, actually. Yeah,
and if it sounds like he's a dude that'll mesh quick, and you always need dudes like that at the trade deadline.
You did. Cost you a fifth
round
pick.
Like if some random guy comes into your group of friends and he doesn't fit into me, and you're just like, yo, who is you?
What'd you say about that Gibson thing? Fire him into a cannon. We were doing that episode with the fantasy hockey. You're like, fire that John Gibson into a cannon. You do that same with like a locker room guy who doesn't fit in.
Yeah.
Fire him into a cannon. And
or John Gibson.
Barabanov traded for Antti Suomela. That's just a guy who can play center. Basically, you're swapping positions. You're giving Barabanov.
I think that was to make stack up your AHL team.
I think so. Suomela's played NHL games.
Yeah, but
honestly, I think it was a winger for a center. Same with the Riley Nash trade. Yeah. It was for a guy who can play center.
But it also creates depth in your Marlies team. You know, Dubas is not going to let his Marlies die.
Oh, no. 100%.
That's what I like about it, too.
100%.
Too, because when we could go to the Marlies games, they're always competitive again.
Always. Oh, yeah. 100%. It was amazing. It's not just guys. It's like this guy could play in the NHL, or this guy's up and coming.
Yeah.
And if not, and they're not showcasing those guys.
Or it's guys who played, too.
Colin Greening played a bunch of years.
Milan Michalek.
McCulloch played a few years.
They probably loved
Rich Clune.
They probably love. Guess what?
Still there.
It's nice being in the Leafs organization because they pamper the Marlies as well.
Oh yeah. Who was it? One of the goalies. There was a story. I can't remember who this was, but I heard somebody ask when they got to the Marlies. They were like, "Wow, your goalie coach travels with you?" It's like, well, yeah. What the fuck?
You guys have on-site doctors? It's like, yeah, we're owned by the Leafs.
You guys have catered meals? You guys have black and white tape? Okay, it's not that bad. Not that bad. And the last pick, what do you think of Dave Rittich? Leafs came up with third, got David, big save Dave Rittich.
So what I think about it next year
Yep.
is, what's Campbell's? I think they're going to have Campbell and Rittich signed for less than they have Anderson signed going into next year.
Same.
Oh, you think this? Yeah. And that's amazing.
Okay, no. Specifically, your ideal combo, I think is still Anderson Campbell, but Anderson's going to ask for too much. And honestly, over the past 5 years, he's deserved more than the Leafs can pay him because
Agreed.
We have to we have to sign Hyman and have to leave space for Riley, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it's just the logistic of it is not going to work.
Yeah, exactly. So I totally agree. I think this is a tryout for Rittich. And if he meshes with Jack Campbell and the team and doesn't headbutt any walls on the way off the ice or whatever.
I like his character. He's passionate.
Is he the most opposite? He has to be the most opposite goalie off the ice, or in terms of that fiery thing, than Jack Campbell. They're like total opposites of each other.
Yeah.
And I think I
like Rittich's game, man.
What do you like about it?
It's just, he's exciting. I gotta say he overreads the play. And like he puts himself in not bad positions on purpose, but bad positions he's too far, and he still makes that save.
Yeah, he does tend to. I don't love it, but I know what you mean. He definitely moves to the puck. You don't love it because you're a goalie, but like I love it because he makes himself more exciting that way. Yeah,
he's always like engaged to where like the puck is going, as opposed to just waiting for it to get there.
He challenges quite a bit, and sometimes he'll catch him. He'll be caught over challenging a little bit. Or is a guy like. The obvious example is Henrik Lundqvist, who's used to sitting on the goal line.
Oh yeah, he's not moving till the puck's where it's going to be shot. I find Rittich just like, no, you're not getting the puck anywhere around me, and he's feisty around the net.
We talked about that like a week or last episode or whatever about goalies getting a little bit more slashy, getting a little.
I like his game. I liked him when he was in Calgary, too. He won me some fantasy weeks.
That's taking on Mark's good side. You win Mark a fantasy week, or if you lose Mark a fantasy week, he fucking hates you.
Yeah, no, I've only had good
Blake
things
Wheeler
to say about Ritt. Oh, no, I can't say anything. Well, yeah.
No, exactly.
I'm sad he's fucking injured right now. So,
That's true.
I'm kind of starting to hate him again. I know he has a conky, so I can't.
Yeah, that sucks. That's unfortunate.
I got Zach Hyman, too. Fuck me, man!
It was
holy
fantasy hockey playoffs,
and I fucking down Hyman and Wheeler.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah,
that hurts.
Bullet to the fucking brain.
You know what? I think we should do
the karaoke or Macarena.
Ian's not here to not sing. We can just all sing. I think we should talk about the Detroit Red Wings for a minute.
Yeah.
If you want to go along that sort of trade deadline route. So we just kind of keep going here. But the Detroit Red Wings, we've talked about the Detroit Red Wings a few times, but Ian's always been like, nah, not worth talking about. But the Detroit Red Wings made a few moves. Okay, yeah, they traded John Merrill for a thing and Patrick Nemeth for a thing, and Brian. They helped the Lightning in the Savard deal. They were that third team in the Savard deal. But Anthony Mantha was the one that came out of nowhere.
Can I say something? I'm very sorry.
About what?
They have more wins than the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Who does?
Detroit.
Well, that's on topic. We're talking about the Red Wings.
Yeah, I'm sorry to just cut you off. They're 1 point behind Columbus.
What?
Yeah, they're 1 point behind Columbus.
How far is Columbus out of the playoffs? Sorry, it goes Chicago, Columbus,
Detroit's 11 point out. Is allowed.
Right, okay.
But
Columbus is that far down?
Columbus has 39 points. Detroit has 38.
How much does Nashville have?
49.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Dallas
Columbus
has 46. Chicago's at 47.
I gotcha. Okay.
I was just like, Detroit's ahead of a few teams, but I'm surprised that they might not be dead last in their division.
Yo, we didn't call. Well, who else is in that? It's Buffalo.
No,
Dallas, sorry.
Chicago, Nashville.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the big three.
Right.
Sorry, I was just shocked that Detroit had more wins than somebody in their division.
That's they're scrapped. They're keeping it respectable, man.
Yeah, and Columbus beat Toronto in the playoffs last year.
What'd you think of the Anthony Mantha trade in the 11th hour of the deadline?
It was cool. It was a cool hockey trade.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That's a good way to put it. It was a hockey trade. It wasn't like a cap fuck thing.
The Wings got the younger
trade.
player, and they got the picks. Vrana's still RFA.
Yes.
Mantha's got the contract, but he's definitely the more developed player in terms of producing. But Vrana's got I think Vrana might have more goals than Mantha on his career already, or pretty close to him. But I just think Washington got the more NHL experienced ready player for playoff time, and that's what they were looking for. And apparently Washington had Mantha like on their radar for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. He's on brand.
Oh yeah, he's big winger, and like they have run him and fucking Wilson 1-2. That's dirty with
That's
Oshie
insane.
as well.
That's
and Ovi.
Can you?
That's a that's a massive winging combo. Dude, you're getting fucking murdered if you're a defenseman on that against those
Is
guys.
there a bigger basically top 6? And who's your other winger on the top 6? Oshie, yeah. He's tiny in comparison.
He's still big. He's still scrappy. Like, he still hits and he still goes in the corner. And
but beside Mantha, he looks like a little child.
Yeah. And then you got
beside
Backstrom
Wilson
and Kuznetsov up the middle.
Dude, that's a heavy top 6, man.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to beat.
That's something.
Gonna be hard to beat fucking 4 times.
Yeah. And Panic, I think, was a bit of a cap dump, kind of.
Yeah,
maybe?
Panic was a complete. So the way Ian said it, the trade was for Mantha for Vrana in the first.
Okay. Yep.
And then
the second was to pay for the cap on Panic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so basically, the Wings got Panic and the pick for free. The Wings got Panic and then the pick for free for taking Panic with Vrana and the first. And then whatever Detroit dumped.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you're not going to win, and Panic's still a half-decent hockey player as well.
Well,
he's an NHLer.
Panic fills a roster spot that was opened up for, like Bobby Ryan, for example, done for the year.
Yeah, exactly.
So they need a guy
that can play for the end of the season.
And Jacob Vrana has a chance to do stuff,
rejuvenate himself,
score goals.
He's still scoring goals this year.
And it's a change of scenery for both of them. I feel like Anthony Mantha was sort of in the doghouse for the Detroit Red Wings for a while now. Like, it wasn't...
I feel that way too.
There was just something about that relationship that... And now he scored, 4 goals in 4 games or something?
Yeah, Vrana joined Detroit and he's their leading scorer.
That's good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for him. Just look it on the...
But yeah, Mantha's gone off since he went to Washington. So
Yeah. Just going on the Detroit Red Wings message boards after this trade, I hadn't looked into the Detroit Red Wings all year because they were just there. They existed. If you ask Ian about the Red Wings, it's like, yeah, Cider, and that's about it. That's all they really have. Larkin's pretty good, but like he's probably going to be a little older when the kids are actually developed.
He's going to be past. He's going to be more towards his twilight, like Giroux is right now in his career.
Yeah, sure. That's a good comparable. Yeah. But generally speaking, Red Wing Nation thought it was. Is it Red Wing Nation? Red Wings fans, whatever, thought it was an amazing move. I know they really wanted to get rid of Glendening and Bernier, but if you look at some of what other teams were getting for, like, what did the Preds get for or give up for Goodbranson, like a 7th?
Yeah.
Then nobody wanted Glendening.
Nobody wanted them.
And yeah, exactly. If you can't, it's like
you
know what?
Get a better player for the same price that you think you're going to get Glendening, then you're going to go for the better player.
Obviously. Yeah, exactly. And I think at the same time, it's like the Red Wings...
he's the last of all resorts.
Yeah, he's like the last on the list, and these guys are here, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, Glendening's like 20th on our list, and there's still 10 guys to choose from, whatever. And the Red Wings, they might not give up Bernier for a 7th round pick. It's like, no, he's more valuable on our team than a 7th round pick is. Even though the Detroit Red Wings will probably pick up fucking the next... Datsuk with that 7th round pick anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's just waiting for Detroit to just go.
Yeah, well, they will again. They will.
Yeah, and guess what division they're in?
Fuck.
Leafs division.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh man, Ian's gonna talk so much shit once they're good again. He's holding it in
10 years
just for the fucking day.
10 fucking years. Yeah. I have no sympathy.
Yeah, hopefully he's moved away far enough that he can't fucking talk shit to us by then.
Mark's gonna be living in Portugal by then.
Oh, hopefully I'm retired. That'd be amazing in 10 years.
What did you think about the Bruins? I know we talked about the Taylor Hall thing, but just real quick, the Taylor Hall, Curtis Lazar.
Yeah, Boston again. Like, Lazar's still a good player.
He's solid.
Like, 4th liner.
Yep.
Like, he scored, I think, 3 goals against Philadelphia this year, so...
He's a guy that, when you say Curtis Lazar is a Bruin, you're like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Craig Smith, Charlie Coyle...
Yep. Other guy, Bruin, yeah.
Nick Ritchie.
The only guy that really like stands out as like a little odd almost is Taylor Hall.
Yeah,
Kinda.
but I think
just compared to those guys.
Yeah, the only thing though that Taylor Hall is just going to be disciplined going to that room.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they discipline Marchand, you got Marchand straightened out.
Yeah. And that's
His
the culture
antics.
that we can't really talk to too much just because we don't know, but we see the results of it.
Like we hate Boston because we're Leaf fans, but I love Boston as like that. If I can define a hockey team, I would tell people about the Boston Bruins from like 2012 to like whenever Bergeron and Chara has been.
Was
there.
it 2010 they went to the thing
Yeah.
against the did they win the cup or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, like, since Chara and Bergeron have been there till like now, like that's the definition of what a hockey team is.
Yeah. Yep. And I think Taylor Hall slots in perfectly. They don't touch their first line. He goes right into the second line spot.
Guess who's been going off since Taylor Hall's been on his line too?
Krejci.
Guess who has him in our league?
Me.
I do too.
Fuck you.
I have him in our 14. I picked him up on, I think it was last Thursday.
Actually,
I was like, oh shit, yeah, this guy's playing with Taylor Hall. I might as well pick him up because, like, Krejci's sick, Taylor Hall's sick.
Who are they playing with?
I don't know. Does it matter?
Craig Smith, I'm pretty sure. Guess who's that guy?
Nice.
I think, I don't know I'm not going to check data face-off. The lines can change too much, really, for me to look at that stuff, but that's basically where he slots in. It's a perfect fit for Taylor Hall. No, like, not the non-pressure to score, but at the same time, like, go score a few goals, make the playoffs for the first time in ages.
You know how the Mantha trade happened after the Hall trade? I think Washington knew they had to do it.
Arms race.
They had to pull the trigger.
That's a good theory, actually, yeah.
Because I don't think Washington stands a chance with Boston with Taylor Hall.
Oh, it's funny.
And they made the trade after the Islanders pulled the Palmieri and Zajac trade too.
Yeah, that was the previous.
Washington even did anything.
That was like a few days prior because we did that one on our last podcast. We talked about that for a minute.
So I feel like Washington had to be like, "Yo, okay, we got to actually pull the fucking trigger on Mantha."
Arms race, and like the Penguins responded to with Carter. So
I love that deal, man.
They all improved their forward group. What do you like about Jeff Carter? Okay, hold on. Do you have Jeff? I think you mentioned Jeff Carter.
Jeff Carter was on my fucking
big bait board bonanza. Mark mentioned Jeff Carter. Yeah,
I just like
Mark gets credit for that one.
Got pedigree. He's got the 2 cups, and he's still a one-shot goal scorer. Pittsburgh needs that on their power play. Like, and the dude.
They don't have Malkin right now either, so it's a nice fill-in.
Carter can still skate. He still plays center well.
Brian Burke kind of player, really.
Oh fuck, yeah.
Actually, we shouldn't.
Actually, you know what, dude? He's not even a Brian Burke type of player. I'm honestly surprised Brian Burke went and got him.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
I'm
he's a guy.
Like, man, I'm happy that Carter's got another chance, though. I really like the dude. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, and you know what? He's one of those guys that was on our bait board and you didn't hear anywhere else. Heard it here first, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Heard it here first.
Was he on anywhere else?
Not that I saw, honestly.
And Getzlaf almost went, too, and I was talking about Getzlaf as well.
You mentioned Getzlaf.
And he was only willing to go to Vegas, and they couldn't get a deal done.
You know what's funny? None of our Detroit Red Wings that were on our board went.
And Mantha did?
Hey, Ian.
Is Bertuzzi? Bertuzzi's on the list, isn't he?
No, we had Ryan, Glendening, Fabry, Nemestikov, Bernier, and Gagne.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're also not. Well, I mean,
all my randos went. David Savard. Well, Savard.
Yeah, we had Savard on there. We had Palmieri,
Savard
Carter.
Going to Tampa is a fucking heavy haul.
We had Vatanen, but he got waivers. Yeah, he got picked up off waivers. And you even had Lawton. So what do you think? Hold on. One thing on the Bruins that there is the possibility. So if Taylor Hall doesn't. This is one thing I read, that if Taylor Hall is a bust, he doesn't look like a bust right now, but the Mike Riley ad might be huge too for the Bruins on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge...
He's been around a few teams in the last couple of years too because they want him.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to add that little piece. What did you think about the Flyers?
Re-signing Lawton?
The Lawton.
I love it. It's a great deal.
Moving a couple pieces out as well. I guess
they traded Raffle, yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't really show their tanking, but at the same time, they're keeping their core together.
Yeah, it was sort of like, let's move out a guy that we might not need right now.
Because Lawton plays like Hyman, and you can't replace a player like him.
No.
And I'm glad they got a decent deal. I think it's a totally fair deal for both parties.
What is it?
I think it was 5 times 3.2.
It was a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
I know that. I remember that off the top of my head.
Lawton deal. I'm pretty sure it was 5 times 3 point something.
I want to say 3.25 is what I...
5 times 15, so 2.3?
Oh, it's 3.
Yeah.
5 times...
5 times 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
15 mil, 5 years, 3 mil
so
each.
it was even less than I thought.
Decent.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's excellent for a
good
player
for
like
everyone
him.
involved.
He's probably one of the better 3rd, 4th liners in the league, and when you're only playing 3 mil for a guy like that who can work up and down your lineup, I think it's amazing.
Do you think they have a shot, the Flyers?
Oh God, no.
Make
Their
the playoffs?
goaltending has been horrendous, and their defense don't know what the fucking idea the D zone is. Like, they're a mess right now.
So you're sort of, in your mind, you're like, okay, they're like, mathematically they could if they like turned a whole bunch of stuff around, but you're kind of, in your mind, you're also like, yeah, like...
No, they got to catch Boston, and
right.
The Rangers and Flyers didn't do anything to make themselves better than Boston.
Right.
And Tuukka Raska's back.
That's right. Yeah. And he was looking, I was watching the Washington Boston game action. I'm like, yo, Rask, a couple nights ago, and I'm like, yo, Rask looks pretty good. Like, he's looking like Tuukka Rask again. Good for them. Speaking of the Washington Capitals, not to go back to them, not to circle back too much, but were they counting on Henrik Lundqvist?
I don't think so. They got Craig Anderson. Because
I saw, I saw the well, they're not running him though.
No, he's their 3rd, but Vanacek's broken out pretty nice for them.
Is he? I was watching the game and I'm like, man, there's just something about him that
I'm just looking at numbers and raw stats.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I'm looking at their actual, like, I'm trying to...
I barely watch Washington, so I don't...
Same. So I actually wanted to watch and, like, let's see what their goaltender... Like, Samsonov has kind of been a disappointment.
Yeah. I'm sorry, they're a team that I've seen so much play recently that the roster hasn't changed over that much that I know what I'm getting.
It's true, yeah. Except for Mantha.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's Mantha and Chara, but Chara's been there all year. And we know what Chara is. Chara doesn't pick up his feet, and he just pushes people over.
I love watching Chara play defense. I wish I was that
It's
big.
Not hard. You just sort of just watch the front of the net.
I wish I was that big and that mean.
Oh, my God. Is he that mean? He just plays mean.
Yeah, he just plays mean. He's such a gentle giant. I've met him in real life. He's such a cool dude, yeah. Met him in an elevator. He had the duck to get in.
Okay, tell that story. You got to tell the Chara story. What kind of elevator was it, Mark? Where were you?
Right now, we were in it was my brother's hockey tour with Adam. We were in Ottawa. We were staying at a pretty, like, uppy hotel.
Ooh.
And then, sure enough, like, he was with the Bruins at that time. The Bruins were staying there with us. And then I'm in the elevator. And then, like, this, like, ghoul-looking guy, like, has to duck into it in the elevator. And I look up and I'm like...
Holy fuck, it's a Dano.
I forget how old. I think I was, like, 14 maybe? I don't know. I was mad young.
Yeah.
And then I was like, holy fuck, that's Chara. And then I get off the thing. I was too Starstruck to talk to him.
Yeah.
Off, and I was like, oh my God. In my head, I'm just like, yo,
You're
why was Chara here?
Yeah.
And then I hear my parents, the Bruins are staying at the same hotel as us. I'm like, oh, that's why Chara was here. But I met him a few times. Like, I met him, got his autograph.
Oh, nice.
Like, got a whole bunch of the other Bruins autographs from, like, that session. I think I have Bergeron's and Kessel's from there.
Nice. Oh, that was pre-Leafs Kessel.
Oh, yeah.
That's a while ago. Okay. Yeah, it
was pretty cool. And then
huge guy.
Right before the Bruins were about to go on to their team bus,
right?
One of the player kids on Adams, he wanted an autograph. I'm not sure who it was, but like they were too afraid to go talk to him because they're about to like go on the bus.
Right.
Like, they're game. I'm like, fuck that. Like I've met Chara. Like Chara's a cool dude.
Yeah, we're boys now. Yeah, I know him. He knows me.
Hey, Mr. Chara, could you sign this? And he's like, he just signs it, gives it back to me. Like,
yep.
Such a cool, he's so cool, man. They're good. They're a good dude.
For the most, yeah, exactly. I have not met Zdeno Chara, but based on Mark's account, I assume he's a nice
skinnier.
person.
He is fucking skinnier than me, man.
Well, the one comment that somebody made about Hedman was he was the only big guy one of the biggest guys in the NHL, tall wise, that didn't look lanky. Like he looked like he was a normal, proportionate human being. So
Chara?
You imagine, Hedman.
Oh yeah.
So like just in comparison, you like guy that must be taller.
Hedman's built like an actual like football line.
Thor. Yeah. So then you look at some of the other guys that are like taller and lankier, and you're like,
Myers
you must
Chara.
be just out of.
Why aren't you playing basketball?
Because they could skate and bully people.
Yeah, that was pretty cool meeting Chara. You met any NHLers?
NHLers?
Besides, like, watching Luke Shen try and skate?
Oh my gosh. I think I told that story briefly. No, yeah, I will. When I was doing some interning stuff with Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment, it was my friend of mine was working on the community side. He was an intern like the previous he was an intern with the Leafs. I was an intern with Toronto FC. He was an intern with the Leafs the semester before I was. So he basically he got me in doing like some on ice stuff, just like corporate public skates, and just making sure that all the kids behaved. And sometimes there were NHLers out there. So this is 2012 or whatever. So I met a ton of them just briefly. Like it was meet and greets with fans, but there was an autograph session with, it was with Visa or something, and every hour they had 4 new Leafs or Marlies on the
Visa
ice.
Was the name of the player story.
The company Visa. They had like zip ups with like Visa on them or whatever. But there was one session where I think Kadri was on the ice. There was 2 Leafs that were pretty popular that were on the ice with and the other 2 guys. One of them, the guy I was kind of taking care of in quotation marks on it was Clark MacArthur. So he didn't have anyone that really wanted autographs from him. So I was just standing there for like 20 minutes chatting with Clark MacArthur.
Oh, that's dope. He seems like a down-to-earth dude, though, in the interviews he's done.
Yeah. And there's another one where, like, so that the time...
Ask you what was, like, up and shit like that? Like,
I mean, we were just chatting. Like, I was just asking stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Like, what do I ask?
You're more interested into him than you are...
Kinda, right? And at the same time, like, I'm also supposed to
trying to find something.
I'm also feeling bad because I look over, like, Kadri has literally 50 people in line on the ice to take, like, with skates, like, and he has, like, once in a while have somebody, like, come over.
Your job is just to be with MacArthur.
Kinda, or just, like, make sure that there's no lineup that's, like, bundling up and stuff, like, and there was just nobody.
You should ask him, be like, should I help Kadri?
I'm not gonna be a dick. No, like, I'm just
but
gonna...
he would have been just like, no, let's go for a beer.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, just stuff like that. Like, I watched Mike Komisarek almost like flip over a kid because he was racing someone backwards and he flipped over somebody. Somebody like wiped out.
He ran into a kid?
Yeah, like he was racing someone backwards.
Imagine he got injured and missed time and you witnessed that?
Well, I'm not gonna... That's as far as I'm gonna go with that story. But like, I don't know, there's... Joffrey Lupul was at a couple of events like that, and Ben Scrivens, but like that's all a while ago.
Seems like he'd be cool at those things.
Actually, you know what? That's when I think do I have a Lupul jersey? I might.
He just seems like he's good with people.
He's
because I've seen videos of him when he seems like a fun time. And I heard him on Spittin' Chicklets. So.
Yes. Well, yeah, of course. And you hear some stories and stuff like that. Yeah. No, I gained a lot of respect for Joffrey Lupul. There was a separate event. I think he was injured and wasn't allowed on the ice, but he was there. And there's a bunch of other Leafs just like skating around just on the ice, and like there's like a handful of them. So maybe like 3 on the ice and like skating around just like with kids and stuff. And then Lupul's on the bench.
Yeah, they're showing their face.
And for like an hour, Lupul was standing there with a microphone, right? And kids were asking him questions.
Oh, he just answered every single one.
Okay, but
what's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
No, it was exactly that. Yeah, except the questions got just more and more ridiculous as like because the same kids. It's a corporate. There may be 100 people there, which is not a lot in ACC.
Yeah, but he took the time for every single one of them.
They got to be there for their hour or 2 hours. They got to make their appearance, whatever. It's in their contract.
It fun for,
Lupul, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite word? What's your favorite? Like, it was just like, what is I'm like, I have so much, and he was like pretty cool with it too, because like sometimes you don't know what to ask. But
some patience with them. That's
exactly,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and just his
I like that's good.
attitude on the mic and stuff
I like
too.
A story about a guy like that.
Yeah,
about a guy like that, I still like even though he had his like follow with the Leafs, but like he still sounds like a great dude.
And like I've heard other pro athletes, and they just don't have a lot of character.
I just feel like he has a charisma behind himself.
Just going. That's exactly where I was going. He has a little bit that charisma.
And get in.
Yeah, maybe if he wanted to.
He's a guy that seems like he'd be very persuasive.
Sure. Yeah, or has the charisma at least to talk. He has the charisma to talk to people and sort of put himself out there in a way that a lot of other, like a lot of pro athletes,
a lot of people can't in a social setting.
No, a lot of pro athletes, and even for other sports too. Like I've met a ton of athletes from other sports. You
said Kessel had like the.
Yeah, Kessel doesn't like talking to crowds and stuff like that, and even like soccer players, like TFC players. Sometimes they're like, some of them are great, and the team knows which ones are better, obviously, like which ones are, sometimes there's language barriers. Sometimes there's just
of course,
anxiety and stuff like that. So, or just other athletes too, like just doing stuff with the Pan Am Games. I worked for TO 2015. So just meeting those type of athletes. Some of them have like a lot of charisma and they're just bubbly and it's literally they're any other person.
And then you see the more the more conservative athlete as well.
100%. Like some of them are super conservative.
We played on big sports teams and we've been in tournaments and we've seen every spectrum. We've not played as high as them, but we know exactly what we're talking about when we see them on a team. It's
just like, guys, walk into your men's league room and be like, yo, that guy's a good time, but you need to get a beer into him first.
No, that's what it'd be.
That guy
before hockey
has no jokes at all, and it's literally the exact same.
I don't say a fucking, like, I'm just sitting in the corner in a men's league game. I don't say a fucking word before the game. After the game and the beers start going, let's fucking go, blah, blah, blah. But, like, before the game, I'm just like, I'm quiet. I'm just getting ready. I'm getting in my own zone. Yep. And after the game, it's just...
That's it. Yeah, for the switch. It's... it's a different atmosphere. It's professional, or if you're talking other different sports, well, gymnastics or swimming or whatever, it's very similar.
You call it a ritual.
Yeah, a ritual or personality or whichever. Yeah, that's it. Anything else you want to say about the trade deadline here?
It was a lot more exciting than I thought. I think it was a lot more exciting than I thought it was.
You thought it would be?
Yeah. Like, there was a couple of trades, like the Mantha trade I didn't expect to happen, the Carter trade, like, I thought I threw Carter out there for, like, a funsy thing, because, like, shot in the dark, just where his deal was and shit like that, and it happened. It was cool. I like this, I like that the entire East Division
got better.
Oh, yeah, they're going all out for it.
Okay, so the two that I want to get your take on before we sort of wrap here is, on this part, is, the Savard deal.
Yeah, I like that Tampa got him. Tampa just nobody's going to beat Tampa in that division after they got him, especially with Ekblad going down for Florida.
Yeah. And the cap circumvention shenanigans.
Who did Florida get? I forget who they got.
Sam Bennett.
I thought they got a defenseman too.
Sam Bennett. They got Brandon Montour.
Yeah, that's who they got. He's like an
Ekblad placeholder, kind of. Yeah, like an Ekblad light. He's gonna take Ekblad's ice time, kind of, but he's not gonna do what Ekblad's gonna do. And they signed. The Panthers also signed. Is it Nikita Gusev or something? He was bought out by somebody, and he re-signed with the Panthers. So yeah, they're doing some things too. Was there anyone that you thought should have done something that didn't? Trade deadline wise? Like you said, the top teams in the East all made moves. The Canadians beefed up a little bit.
I think Edmonton needed to do something.
Edmonton really didn't do much, eh?
No.
Didn't they make a comment? Didn't Edmonton's management make a comment like, hey, you can't go for it every year?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Kind of makes sense.
It's true, but you don't say that.
Well, when he goes back into his division next year, he's got Arizona, he's got California, Arizona, Calgary.
Is there going to be Arizona there? It's Seattle.
Or Seattle, like...
Regardless. Yeah,
he's got a lot easier division than he's in now.
Maybe. I guess so. Did Minnesota do anything? I don't know if Minnesota did anything.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
No, I think they're in a spot where, like, they don't...
I think they're okay, too.
They don't really have to chase anything. I think they're just happy with where they are.
Yeah. Interesting.
I thought Winnipeg would have done something a little bit, but they made their move, I guess, getting Dubois earlier in the season.
Yes.
And then after that, can't really think. Like, Colorado solidified. I think Colorado solidified themselves picking up Dubé because Grubauer is hurt right now.
Yep.
Or he's out with COVID.
Oh, is Grubauer out with COVID right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, after what happened last year, they're a team that you want to be running multiple, have a couple goaltenders.
Vegas didn't do anything.
They're pretty tight to the cap, I guess, but there's rumors that they were in on Taylor Hall, but you never know. Like you said, Taylor Hall, he decided where he went.
Other than Edmonton, that's it. Montreal went and got Eric Stahl.
Montreal got, they got Merrill from the thing, Red Wings.
Yeah, I'm like...
and Gustafsson.
Yeah.
Oh, how about Mark? Would you like Victor Mete for free? Imagine just fucking. The crazy thing is Buffalo just didn't take him.
Yeah, I know.
Why? NHL guy could be okay one day, and then Ottawa said the more and more as this season goes on, the more you're like, yo, the Ottawa Senators, they're gonna be good in 3 years.
Dude, Mark Mantha is not wrong.
Well, I think he's wrong in the fact that they're going to be way better than the Leafs. They're going to be really good.
But they're going to be really. I don't think he's wrong.
He's half
wrong
correct
in the fact with that, but he's correct in the fact that the Ottawa Senators are going to be a really good fucking hockey team.
The take was correct. The hot part of the take was not correct.
I think they already are a really good hockey team. They're just a goaltender and development away.
You know what? I don't think I've listened to a bunch of other podcasts. Nobody else talks about the Ottawa Senators the same way we do. No one ever talks about them at all. And we talk about them too much.
Because they score a whole shitload of goals against the Leafs.
Yep.
I know it's not hard to score against the Leafs, but the goals Ottawa scores are fancy. They're nice goals, man. They're hockey goals, and Stützle
yeah, that guy
decides to put on a show every time he plays against us.
He hasn't been scoring recently, though.
Because they haven't played the Leafs in a little bit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
I don't know.
it.
Maybe they figured him out. He's a rookie. He doesn't know how to break through. You played the same 4 teams.
You're going to struggle
over and over. They figured you out, rookie.
It's not
like you're going to go play Nashville on an off day.
It's the NHL.
Yeah.
It's NHL. It's hard, bud.
Exactly. They figured him out.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
He has no moves that he can get past. It's like when I'm playing MLB, I got the show game, and my pitching difficulty is adaptive for my road to the show.
Yeah.
So when I go on a streak where I'm pitching really well, my pitching difficulty will be in Hall of Fame level. And if I miss a pitch by a millimeter, it gets friggin' ripped.
Wait, so your Mark's
it's
got
the difficulty
his...
is adapting to you the way the NHL is adapted to Stützle.
So this is be a pro mode for the MLB game.
Yeah.
That's now finally cross-platform because you couldn't play MLB on any other platform aside from Sony's thing for literally ages.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, for context, Mark and I would have epic Mario baseball duels.
That is the closest baseball game we've had to probably any baseball game.
Generally, that's probably one of my top 5. I don't know if it's in the top 5 favorite games ever, but it's honorable mention.
Oh,
Mario baseball.
It was so balanced.
It was balanced. It was also relatively realistic for it just what there wasn't. It was simple. It was simple
in terms of gameplay,
and the controls are easy to understand. You could move pitches around. You had different people that had different characteristics. Yeah, it's cartoony, but you could play on a field that wasn't stupid.
You could set the thing so it was a real baseball.
Yeah. It's some epic. So you're playing basically
I'm playing basically as a pitcher. So
in your be a pro mode.
Yeah, my difficulty set to dynamic. So if you're kicking ass, the difficulty is gonna raise as you go.
Oh, so it changes based on you're doing good today.
You've done good the last 3 games. You've done good. So you did good this game. It gets harder and harder.
That's cool.
So I'll be 3 games in a row where I've gone a complete game shutout, and then I'll throw a 2-hitter 7 innings, and I'll go 5 innings, give up 2 runs.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to the next game and I'll be Hall of Fame plus, and I'm I am gonna get fucking lit up. I already know I'm gonna get lit up.
I'm going 2/3 of an inning and I'm getting yanked.
Oh my god. So I'll throw a perfect pitch. It'll be good, good, right, perfect right in the blue spot where my catcher's aiming.
Yeah.
Guy rips it for a fucking double. It's because I tried going in the same spot twice and I missed my first pitch.
And your overall is what? You said 69?
Now it's 74. But back then it was just it was 69 or whatever. But it's the AI is so good. If you try to throw the same pitch twice in the same spot, what do you think's gonna happen, Greg?
Ding dong.
Yeah.
And you're playing you were this AA or AAA or something?
Yeah.
You said with the Jays organization.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
Fisher Cats.
I was in spring training right now. So I'm playing with the Blue Jays at spring training.
Yep.
But they put me against the Orioles team. They got Carlos Correa right now.
Yeah.
Just in a trade or whatever.
Okay.
In the season.
Yeah.
In the last season or whatever.
Right.
I couldn't every time I got this guy up, because he's an MLBer and he's 90 overall, I couldn't get the ball by him. He would foul everything off.
Just outclassed
until I literally walked him, or he just ripped the cover off the ball.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, though.
Exactly, and that's why I kind of like it, because as soon as I see it, I'm fuck, I don't know how, I can't figure out.
It's literally a challenge.
But it's funny, in this season, once you figure out how to get the guy out, you can keep kind of fucking doing it with him.
Yeah, well, that's sort of how it works, though.
In baseball.
IRL.
Yeah.
Yeah, in real life, that's sort of how it works.
I usually like working down
for the most part.
down low in the strike zone early, and then if you don't start going up high, they're gonna start killing you. But if you start going up high too late, they realize you're just going up high to try to get the down low pitch going again.
Right.
So you gotta legit work a fucking strike zone. You can't just keep going to the same spot against the AI in the game.
How often? How does the catcher work? Does he call the game, or do you sort of input what you want to throw?
He calls the game as you're seeing. So I kind of follow the catcher for the most part a little bit, but what I know what I want to do to a guy, I kind of follow my own pattern. But when you follow the catcher too, it's pretty fun. So the catcher, because I got 3 pitch, I got a 2-seam for a fastball, knuckle curve, and a changeup. So 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
So he'll call a fastball, he'll hit his knee, and it'll point to the ground.
Oh, okay.
So he's calling fastball low.
Right.
And then he'll go fastball knee, and then just hold his glove up. So he's called fastball.
A little higher, yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah.
So do you have to build up chemistry with your catcher?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Yeah. So
cool.
when you strike guys out looking on a pitch that the catcher calls, you get bonus chemistry points and shit like that.
Sick.
Yeah. It's actually kind of dope.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So the chemistry I have with my catcher, when you have a different catcher in the game, your chemistry will be different. So your confidence is not going to be as high in that game as it is with your other catcher.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. So it's pretty fun. It's kind of realistic in the way. It's actually realistic in that way because I was not confident having certain catchers catch for me as opposed to other ones.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that tandem makes a huge difference. You
probably have it too with Taylor.
Oh yeah, whoever's catching, right? It's just it's this. Do I know this? Does this person know me?
Do they know how my pitches move?
Do they? It comes to a point where you almost know what sign they're going to put down before they do it.
Yeah, you're in
and
sync.
even if you're wrong, it's I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you're in sync.
But it's just you don't have to think about it.
No, but when they shake you off and then you put the other thing down, you're okay, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's fucking kind of cool that way.
That's kind of cool. You're enjoying the game then?
Oh, fuck, I'm loving it. I think I put almost 30 hours into the game already.
Ooh, when did you get it? Sinking time in. It's Monday, by the way. It's Monday. You got it late last week? It came out?
Saturday? Friday? Saturday?
Yo, that's enough time.
Fuck, man. So, the thing is, though, they have this, Diamond Dynasty thing. It's the same thing as Hut if you're an NHL player.
Yep.
Or whatever FIFA Foot or Madden thing. The cards I've acquired already has paid for the game. So the currency of the cards that I own have already is worth more than the purchase of my game.
Hilarious.
And I haven't spent a cent on packs yet.
Haven't spent any on money. Who'd you pull? Tell them who you pulled.
I've pulled a 90 over Josh Donaldson, 90 overall Josh Donaldson, a 90 overall Ronald Cunha.
Yep.
And this thing sells for 160,000 stubs.
Coins.
And the value of that is $100.
Money.
Little showboating. And then I have a Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, and a Chris Sale card.
You had a Chris Sale.
Yeah, I pulled it yesterday.
Okay, you didn't tell me that. That was recent.
That was another free pack.
Jeez, your rotation's stacked then, man.
Yeah, with a Noah Syndergaard. I don't like Chris Sale though because he's a lefty. I can't pitch with lefties, dude.
Yeah, okay. You were saying that when you have to pitch, you have to actually
understand the timing and the mechanism of the pitcher.
Yeah, so each batter and each hitter, they're not the same.
No.
Which is crazy, but good
realistic at the same time.
Yeah. So when you're skating around in playing NHL or whatever or
everybody's
FIFA,
the same.
Everyone's kind of I guess everyone's the same in FIFA. I haven't played FIFA in ages.
And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I like this guy because he's faster.
But hitting, everybody has the same hitting. Donaldson has his leg kick before the pitch comes in.
So you have to time it differently than.
Well, hitting's kind of similar. They just have their leg kick and swing. Sure,
but pitching you say is.
Yeah, everybody has a different pitching timing.
Right. So. One thing you were saying that I found fascinating was you might be better pitching with a 79 overall than an 88 overall just because you understand their mechanic a little bit better.
It's just you can just control pitches or whatever. But I like Noah Syndergaard because the guy can throw gas. But his mechanics are very similar to what I pitch in real life. So, like, when I made my Be a Pro character in the thing,
yep,
you choose your own pitching style.
Right.
So I was, like, scrolling through. I specifically looked for Roy Oswald.
Okay.
Because I kind of mimicked his total thing, and it was there.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I love...
that setting, or that...
Yeah. So my pitcher in my road to the show pitches like his same mechanics as Roy Oswald.
Nice.
So like it's like my mental timing is already there with how to release a ball.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool actually. I haven't played like a sport game like that.
You should download this, man.
In
it's
a while,
fun, dude. And you can make the game as simple as you want as well.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I appreciate that sometimes, because sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to do anything too complex, but sometimes if you really get into it,
yeah, you can literally make it a hit, like like put the ball here and pitch.
Yeah. But you can also make it as technical as you want.
But you can make it as technical as you want.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Recently, I've been more into the manager games, like
the managing in this, like the
GM stuff.
The GM stuff is fucking wicked.
Yeah, it's decent. I just don't want to do. It sucks sitting in front of a TV and knowing that you're using like a console and a TV to just do like sim games and general manager stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I honestly, for you, I'd recommend this. I think you would really enjoy this game.
Maybe I'll have to do a look-see. I'll look into it.
I just know enough people like who have it, and man, you'd be a part of a good group of guys. Good group of
put together a team.
Well, no, we're putting together. You can do your own league.
Like you have 9 people.
No,
or whatever.
No.
Oh, a league. Like
a league. So everybody picks their own team.
That's kind of it's basically straight up fantasy, except it's MLB the show
MLB,
thing.
And you can trade players and stuff like that.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, you could do like an actual like league against like 12 buddies of yours.
So do you like play like real games against each other?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They're all scheduled in the thing, and you just play like in the time they're
get them done beforehand. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of crazy, actually. I'm surprised. Are there any other games that do that? Because
NHL used to do it. They don't have it. I think FIFA has it.
I'd assume FIFA's huge.
Yeah.
Madden's. I'd assume Madden's easier. Well, football's easier just because there's fewer games in the schedule.
You know how I noticed baseball is so much bigger than hockey? Is when I go to the ads in baseball and I compare them to hockey. There's like 50,000 ads for players a day on the top players in the MLB fantasy on Yahoo.
Oh yeah.
But when you go to ads in like hockey, it's in like the thousands.
Yeah, it's like baseball's 10 times more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Active. I'm gonna say more than 10 times.
Yeah, you go to you go to the fantasy, and then you go to the recommender, the transaction trend or whatever. Is that what it's called? Transaction trend. It's like, here are the top 3 guys that are added today. And yeah, I noticed that too. And football, it's crazy too, though. Except football is a little bit more position oriented. Yeah, I guess you could say. Like, oh, okay, that quarterback's been added. I don't care. I already have my quarterback taken care of. So it's a little different than baseball. Baseball still is a little bit more wider open.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay, we'll get to a few more things. We'll do a quick 7th inning stretch first, and then come back and do some more, I don't know, bullshit stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So I got this squirrel in the neighborhood, and
just one.
And around Christmas, we noticed it bringing stuff to our windowsill. So somebody caught it bringing a gingerbread cookie, like a full gingerbread cookie. Bounced along the fence, and it dropped a full gingerbread cookie right under our kitchen window. And there's like a hose nozzle sitting there, so it kind of has like a little cove to like put things in.
Oh, and it's probably protected from snow and wind and shit.
It was 100% protected.
Oh, that's
so yeah, exactly.
And it's probably got enough like ambient heat coming out of your window that it's probably a little warm.
Out of the kitchen window, just enough. And then
smart little dude.
So a couple hours later, we were sitting down to have dinner. I think my brother noticed a squirrel come back. And it's just sort of weird to see a squirrel like right on your windowsill. Like it hopped along the fence where the gate is and then up on the windowsill. And a minute later, we see it running around our neighbor's roof. We're eating dinner. I turned around and it's running around the neighbor's roof, like just all over the place with a gingerbread cookie in his mouth.
Is it a red squirrel?
Black squirrel.
Oh, okay. I was like, if it's a red squirrel, it's not surprising.
No, yeah, those things are super hyper. So over the past like 2 months or whatever, we've like sometimes you'll see something there, like a piece of bread or something. The other week it was a dinner roll. It looked like a dinner roll from Swiss Chalet. One of those like Swiss Chalet dinner rolls.
Dude is dining heavy.
I guess so, but that's like his spot. Like he'll bring stuff and he'll put it.
Hide it there.
in the little corner, sort of behind where there's a hose nozzle contraption thing that's kind of heavy. Like, those things are pretty heavy. They're not going to move.
Birds probably can't find it either.
Nope. Guess not. And then we don't really catch the squirrel there too often, but we'll either see its stuff there, and sometimes we'll just check. It's remnants or its little stash, its hideaway. So that's kind of fun. Like, even, I guess, sort of the takeaway from this is that now that we're all in lockdown in Ontario again, in quotation marks, lockdown, define lockdown however you want, Doug Ford, but just keep an eye out for all those little details around your house, because especially as the seasons change, because I find that's that sort of stuff that's
the bunny search. I used
kind
to
of
see
interesting.
Bunnies on my front lawn every morning at like 4:45, 5 o'clock when I was leaving for work in the summer.
There's rabbits everywhere.
Every morning, just chilling. One would just be chilling right in like literally 2 steps, like in front of my door, just
right outside, waiting for you.
Like waiting. I'm like, and then it would just run. I'm like, why the fuck are you here every morning if you're just gonna run? So did you see the Formula 1 race yesterday?
In the rain in Italy?
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. Like, Amy messaged me. She was like, fuck, Bottas and this guy fucking got in a collision. Lewis Hamilton fucking, like, went out at the same time. It was a failure for Mercedes. And then, like, if Bottas didn't get in the accident, like, Hamilton would have never been able to get back because it was a red flag.
Yeah, okay, so the drama was the Valtteri Bottas, Mercedes driver, not Lewis Hamilton, the other guy. But
Hamilton went out right before this happened.
Yeah. So he got taken out by a Williams driver who, what's his name? Russell.
Yeah.
But Russell's like the number 3 driver for Mercedes, but he's driving for so there's a whole controversy in F1. It's basically like Bottas kind of didn't get, like, edged him to the curb, and then Russell hit the grass, and because it was wet, he just spin.
Bottas was driving on the dry line.
Whatever. I just think that they're both being babies. It's like, you crashed, you were racing, you're trying to win.
That's the way I see it.
Stop being yourselves. Stop being drama. Stop being F1. Except don't. But kind of. I'm not. Whatever.
You can't wait for next season already.
But like, Hamilton wipes out, and he comes back and finishes second. Like, he literally he wipes out, goes into a sand trap, touches a wall, so he had wing damage, and had the wherewithal to throw his car in reverse, slowly back out without, like, getting his wheels stuck in the sand, because that's literally what usually happens to people, and then they're done.
Especially when it's raining.
Especially when basically it's soft. And get back on track, and then make his way back up to, he's not going to catch Verstappen, because that's his regular competition if it's a clean race for him, but... Yeah.
They're finishing seconds apart in a clean race.
Amy thinks I'm a huge fan of Max Verstappen. I don't know why. I do appreciate in that last season of Drive to Survive, they did portray Sergio Perez very well, and having like him like basically being like a sick driver and just not having a seat for next year, and then surprise, there's a seat with Red Bull. It's like, yep, I will take that, says Sergio Perez. And your boy, Norris, Lando, finished on the podium for Orange team. What, McLaren? McLaren.
Yeah, good Lando. He's good shit. Did you see Sainz give him props too after his podium?
Yes.
He drove by and he gave him
his former teammate, Carlos Sainz, now with Ferrari.
I was like, damn, good shit there.
Yeah. But it's you all know each other.
The rivalry and friendship's still there.
Exactly.
I like that. I was like, because it kind of like painted the Drive to Survive episode, kind of painted that it was a little
testier than it needed to be.
Yeah,
absolutely. Creating the drama.
It's good to know that the drama is past or whatever. But yeah, I'm not much into like a lot of Formula 1 races, but that was a friggin' I guess because it was raining, so I'm gonna obviously be interested. But
chaos.
Yeah, it's chaos. So but it was cool that
at the start of the race,
it was interesting, and somebody who didn't make the podium usually made the podium.
Oh yeah, exactly. If it's Mercedes and the Red Bull on the podium, it's like, okay, but like if it's something different, but those opening few laps with the wet track, and you see 2 cars and you see a plume of spray, and the rest of the field is somewhere in that plume of spray.
They're just looking at that blinking light.
Literally. Once you're in the plume, you can see a little bit better, obviously, but it's just the spectacle of just seeing. It's like 2 rocket ships, and just the smoke, except it's not smoke, it's spray. What the fuck's in there?
A car going 200 miles an hour.
No, No, 18 cars. The whole rest of the field is in there.
I know. I wish I enjoyed it, like as much as you and Amy did, but I just don't find the competition for like finishing 5th as finishing.
Oh yeah, no, same.
I just can't enjoy that.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's strange. It's like there's 3 races going on.
Yeah,
in one
I love
race.
the Drive to Survive show, but I just can't find the racing interesting.
Well, that's really what got me back into it. I mean, like some of my first. I guess I sort of loved some of the racing stuff because I vaguely remember Jacques Villeneuve winning the thing. And of course, whenever the thing comes into the Honda Indy comes into Toronto, and I know it's IndyCar and it's not Formula One, but it's still big in Toronto, even though the popularity has dipped in recent years, I guess you could say. Not having a hometown. James Hinchcliffe is from.
He's won a championship. So did Paul Tracy.
But Paul Tracy was like the name that everybody knows.
And he's from West Hill.
He's from down the street from here. So it was huge back then. It's still massive. But I was actually speaking of talking earlier, I worked for TO 2015. We actually had a setup there down at one of the races. And the engines are so loud. Oh, like if you're on the grounds, you need ear protection. Not even if by your track. If you're on the grounds, if you're on the X grounds, the track goes around the exhibition where
one of the
TFC
nicest
plays
sounds
and stuff.
Is the F1 vehicles from like the early 2000s.
The engine roar. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, that purr.
Woo. Insane. But it was crazy. Yeah, and the thing is, so.
Pretty good.
On a race day, there's multiple races that go, right? There's different series.
Class.
The first and second ones, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so loud, and you're like, those aren't even the Indy cars. When the Indy cars start going, you're like, oh my gosh. So I actually,
it's like going from 100 to 150 cc Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's crazy. So. When we had our activation down there, I got basically, went down and basically get free entry to the thing and watch the thing. So I think it was back to 2 races that weekend in like 2015 or 14 or something. So I actually went down today and just to watch the race and walk around the track. I'm like, I've never done this before. I'm not the type of guy who would buy a ticket to go do that. I'd rather watch on TV where you can see the whole thing, but I'm like, yo, this is kind of cool. Like I got to watch
around the atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, it was after I was down there on a day to wrap up everything. I was just down there by myself. We just had a really simple setup so I could just tear it down by myself and get out of there. And one of the coolest, now I told the story. I was just telling you how I was on the ice at Air Canada Center a bunch of times. I don't think it was as cool as this. And this is probably my favorite moment where I actually had goosebumps in my life. So I was, we were on the infield. Our setup was on the infield inside of the track. So in order to get to the setup where my tent and all our crap was, you actually had to drive across the track.
Oh, so every car went by yours?
No, like once the race was done.
Yeah.
Right. So we were parked in like Direct Energy Center or Enercare.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I was just parked over there. And then when it was time to tear down, after the race, not far after the race is done, like an hour after, because they got to get out of there. They got to get moving. Everything, the track start tearing down. Everything starts as soon as the fans are out. It's like boom. They start even before then. They start tearing down everything. They got to get moving. Yeah, because they have 12 hours to open up the roads or whatever.
Well,
as well,
and also Indy's got next week to go to.
And Indy's got to get out of there too. They're out of there within 2 hours. So I couldn't get the car in the one way I was supposed to go. So the guy's like, just whatever way you went in the first time, just go in. So I'm like, okay, that's halfway around the track. It's like, okay, way you go. I'm like, what the fuck? So I just drive, you just make sure 4 ways are on. So I'm sitting there, basically right beside Direct Energy Center, kind of, and I'm like, I'm literally on the start-finish line.
Did you floor it?
No, because I'm like, because there's some, every once in a while you'll pass a guy in a go-kart. The guy's driving a go-kart on the track. Good for you.
Just
I'm in a Chevrolet Equinox. I'm an actual car. So one of my first...
You got to do a half lap on the track?
I got to do about a 90% lap.
Oh, that's dope. How sharp are the turns?
Not that sharp. Not really.
I guess they're sharp if you're going...
They're sharp if they're going that fast, but it's not... They're the corners around Exhibition Place. It's like Princess Gates. Oh, it's just a turn, right? And you could see where the thing is, but I'm like, I got to do a lap. Like, I was like one of the first ones to do a lap after one of those Toronto Indy 500s.
Yeah, I guess being on and visualizing it's a lot cooler.
So I got over to the spot where I was supposed to go into the infield, and there were trucks pulling out. Like, I think one of them was James Hinchcliffe's team's truck.
Oh, cool.
So they're like, sorry, you can't come in this way. You got to go back. So I'm like, okay, turn around. There I am going 90% around the other side, like the reverse way of the...
Trying to figure out where to
try to get in, and then I found a way in and wrapped up, and I was out of there. But I was like, that was one of the coolest experiences. Just, I mean, some people be like, oh, you're driving around the roads of the thing.
No,
but
you're racing on a fucking racetrack.
But with the barriers up and everything, it's like, how many people have got to drive around
you drove around a real racetrack.
A real racetrack.
Yeah.
Going slow with my four-ways on and everything like that, but...
Still a fucking racetrack.
Still a fucking thing.
It's like you got this... You've skated on the ACC. A lot of people have got to skate. It's like the same thing, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. Except the ACC, I think maybe I did that more often, but the Toronto Indy track was like that.
Amy really wants to go to the... whenever the Canadian Grand Prix comes back.
Oh, in Montreal.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I did a couple summers ago, because who fucking didn't go to Pokemon Go Fest? It wasn't Go Fest. It was Safari Zone Montreal. Pokemon Go. I went there a couple years ago just because, whatever, fuck it. Don't judge me. But it was on the listeners. It was on the Cirque de Villeneuve.
Oh, it was on the ground.
It was on the island. So you actually walked along the they made a loop for you.
Oh, that's fucking
And
sick.
it was part of the you walking, playing Pokemon Go was on part of the track. Like, you literally walked past the paddock.
You never said that.
Well, and so the theme of the Pokemon theme, they were fast Pokemon because they were themed around speed.
Really?
Yeah, it was like Yanma was like the exclusive, but there was like a ton of like fast
so that
Pokemon.
Makes so much more sense.
Ponyta and Pikachu and...
Okay, that event, it makes so much more sense then.
It was on the Cirque de Villeneuve. It was on
That's fucking sick.
The island.
That is legit. Okay, that makes that event so much more cooler.
It was insane.
That is fucking dope.
Yeah, it was awesome. So you didn't walk around the whole track, but you walked on part of the track.
Could you tell it was like super, like, it was like really...
Dude, the paddock was right there. You like walked down like a little jog through like the...
Oh, so you'd be down to go if we ever decide, if we got tickets and shit, we were down to go.
I know how to get there.
Like, I'd probably rent a trailer for my fucking, and tow my truck.
Oh, like a thing.
Up. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Or I'd ask your parents if we could use theirs and take
little road trip or whatever. Man, it'd be insane. It'd be crazy. Also, it's kind of cool though. There is a subway stop. So it's literally, it connects with the subway line.
And so you get back downtown.
You can get right back downtown.
That's fucking insane.
You stop right in it's like a 15-minute tunnel under the river or something, because it's an island.
So it sounds like...
But yeah, you take the subway there. Yeah, it's perfect. It's amazing. They have it figured out.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's cool.
Should we move to French Canada?
No. No. It's not the worst thing, man. Like, you know what? All of Montreal, it kind of feels like...
I loved my experiences in Montreal.
It kind of feels like Scarborough in Toronto, just because it feels like all suburb. There's very little downtown in Montreal, just because I guess the way the landscape is. They got a mountain. Yeah. You can hike up the mountain.
No, I've every time I've been in Montreal, I loved my experiences there. It's fucking been wicked.
We got a hockey team.
Yeah.
They got...
Had a baseball team. Might have one in the next decade.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's a thing. A lot of reminiscing. There you go. Olympics. They had that. Speaking of Olympics, curling's on. We've been sort of watching the curling. Keeping a kind of a close eye. So Botcher in the Worlds, he finished 6th place. He was representing Team Canada in the Worlds in Calgary. He choked hard. Funny enough, 6th place was exactly what they needed for Canada to qualify Canada for the Olympics.
Yeah.
7th? Nope. Imagine Canada didn't have a curling team in the Olympics. Now, okay, they would have had another chance. There was another opportunity for Canada to qualify, but he just qualified the men for the freaking thing. But you try to tell me you can't finish like on the podium, man? You're Canada. You beat all the freaking Briar people. Okay.
And then he just played in the tournament here. I think he won in the finals.
Yeah, it was the Champion Cup or whatever. Cup,
and that's all he beat Pinties a Dean. He beat he beat everybody. He beat in the Briar again.
It's wild, man. What's going on?
Nothing.
Remember that Canadian figure skater Emmanuel Sandu that could just never win? All the talent of the world.
Patrick Chan.
Was he also like an all the talent of the world but couldn't win?
I think so.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a couple of them. I don't know. It's hard. Well, it's like Rachel, so Homan, I don't know if she won tonight. She was winning. Let's assume she won. Let's assume she won the Champions Cup.
There was no way she was going to choke those shots.
No. But she had a tough time in the Olympics this past Winter Olympics. She finished like 8th or 6th or I don't know. Not on the podium.
Maybe it's just pressure.
Yeah, I guess. Couldn't read the ice too.
Competition all the time and
confidence, man.
And gameplay. Well, what Homan's fucking
3 weeks had a baby. 3 weeks ago had a kid, and now killing it.
8 months pregnant, curling
in the Scotties.
Finals in the Scotties.
Crazy.
And then she had her baby, and then 3 weeks later, she's fucking winning.
Winning. Winning.
Cheers to that, man.
Yeah, that's
cheers to that. She's probably unreal fucking athlete.
You know what that is? Like, that's just pedigree. That's just, I am better than everyone else.
Yeah, she's kick-ass, man. I wish I had the confidence and balls to, like, say I'm better than you on fucking curling.
That's, yeah. At anything.
Yeah.
Literally at anything.
At anything. And she's doing it.
Absolutely
anything.
Awesome. Those are fun stories.
And she's damn good at curling, too. Like,
there's a bunch of female empowerment and stuff, but we're not female, so we're not going to it. But at the same time, like, it's true.
But
like, you do stuff.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, you can't play hockey if you're 8 months pregnant.
I just think it's such an athletic feat for a woman to do, because like Serena Williams is the only woman to win a major after having a kid.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Tennis is a whole different.
I know, but it's still a professional feat.
No, I'm saying like that's insane.
Is different. Yeah, it's. I think it's amazing. Like I think it's such an.
That's never happened in golf or anything.
Over-exaggerate the accomplishment, but
does it never happen in golf? Like a golfer's never.
I don't know.
I don't have the stats. I haven't looked this up. We're making stuff up. We're having a conversation, I guess.
I just think it's fucking good for like. If there's other women who have done it, I'd like wish there was like feats in, or not even like that there's feats for it, but like
it's more spoken of.
It's sick, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Because, like, us as men, we don't have to go through it to go back to play sports. So we don't know. We can't say what it's like to.
Mark, are you trying to say you've never been pregnant and then went back and played sports?
I'm just trying not to sound like an asshole.
Fair.
I'm just saying. I just think what she's done from like a sports and athletic standpoint is fucking amazing. Like,
yeah, no, it's incredible.
Props to her.
Yeah, and it's not her first kid either. She has like 2 or 3 now. I don't know.
Good for her.
I just know there's a few.
That's going to be a happy family.
Yep. Winning family.
Happy.
At everything.
Who the fuck cares about winning if you're not happy?
You can win at happiness.
That's not the point.
So, speaking of winning, Toronto FC. Now, Mark and I don't watch much soccer. Nor do we know. There's a whole thing going on with that Champions League thing that we don't know anything about, but.
Oh yeah,
that's wild. That's wild too.
Yeah, that's another topic.
That's another topic that we're not going to go into that. But it's interesting because
we don't know enough about that because we don't know enough about this.
But I love that like the Prime Minister of England is like, Manchester United, I don't like what they're doing. It's like, okay, dude,
you made me spill my tea.
And I'm like, how? Of course UEFA and FIFA don't like it. How UEFA and FIFA of them to not like the thing?
You're taking my money.
Literally, you're taking my money. I am the boss. And if you do anything to make me not the boss, I don't like it. But Toronto FC beat Club Lyon in CONCACAF to advance the quarterfinals. TFC, a very young, like they're not supposed to be doing stuff.
Young.
And Club Lyon, I was trying to look up the Mexican soccer standings because I was like, yo, how good are these guys actually? And it was in Spanish, so I couldn't really understand what was going on. But in the first half of the season, I think they were first place. This Club Lyon team?
Aren't they on the
Question
score?
mark?
I think that's it.
Maybe, man. I Googled it and I got Spanish and I was typing stuff into Google Translate, trying to figure out what was going on.
Spain soccer?
No, Mexican soccer.
Oh.
Was it in Spanish? Do they speak Spanish? I don't know. Mexican.
Mexico soccer.
Mexico Soccer League.
Yeah, it's on the score.
Yeah. Who's
Leon's in first. They're 12-4
overall.
Yeah, they're in first
because they have like an opening and closing part.
Yeah. Oh no, they're 12 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss.
Wow. TFC beat them. No, was that their first team? I don't know. Or whatever.
They're playing right now, and they're in 2 minutes in.
Good.
Lyon. Let's see.
Who are they playing? Are they playing Cruz Azul?
Schedule.
Because Cruz Azul is who TFC plays in the quarterfinal. Toronto FC.
Cruz Azul?
Yeah, Cruz Azul. Like Azul Morel. Not really, but outside of.
Where are they?
I don't know.
They're in 4th.
Yeah, so they're D's too. But generally speaking, any MLS team is at a disadvantage to the Mexican teams. Generally speaking. Well, if you're a top MLS team, which I don't think Toronto is right now. They just were the Canadian champions. But good for them. That's kind of cool. And, the big thing I wanted to mention there was that the huge advantage where TFC's playing out of Florida. That every other Toronto team is playing out of Florida. So they don't have the home field advantage. They still won and their home leg had no fans. So no home field advantage. Well, exactly. And TFC still won. So
fucking right.
Good for them.
That's dope.
That's kind
good
of
for TFC.
Good for TFC and stuff.
I think I might find the time to watch that next game.
Yeah, maybe. I watch highlights. I'm down. I don't have all sorts of time to watch all sorts of sports.
Well, if I'm around, if
you're around and you have a beer in your hands,
TV and I can see that it's going on, I might watch it. But if I'm not gonna build a campfire and sit around.
No, you're not gonna schedule time around it.
Yeah.
And if the Leafs are playing, we're watching the Leafs lose to the Senators.
I mean, Blue Jays. I'd rather watch the Blue Jays than the Leafs right now.
Yo, what have the Jays been doing? They just lost to KC this weekend, 3 games out of 4, but they can't hit a fucking beach ball.
They can't hit air if they swung a bat.
Oh no, they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat.
Except for Vladdy.
What's Vladdy's average? It's in the 400s, right? It's in the
right
it's
around
crazy.
400. He's got MVP numbers going right now.
Insane. It's not sustainable.
Bichette had a couple weeks ago.
Right, yeah, but that was super early. But now he's not going to sustain that. But it's like, man,
remember how
coming out of the gate hot.
Just I was like, yeah, the Jays pitching. I was confident in the Jays pitching.
Yep.
Jays have one of the best pitching staffs in the entire league, bullpen and stuff, even with Romano and Merriweather out.
Yeah, both those guys are out. Well, Steven Matz. Well, my thing was there's just so many question marks. It's not good to go into a year with so many question marks, but if all those question marks pan out, then you look like a genius.
Yeah, and
it's still early though.
I like pitching, and as a pitcher, you just always think you're gonna get everybody out. So
you have to.
I just assume I always assume the Jays pitching is gonna be great because I like the guys who are there.
Who's really stood out to you though? In pitching wise,
Dolis.
Okay.
When he's on, he's gonna strike everybody out.
Yeah.
Hyunjin Ryu is he's going up for the Cy Young again this year.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's one thing I mentioned was that you can't expect a guy to go up for an award every year, but if he does it, amazing.
Matz might be surprised by people, but I knew he was that good.
Well, Matz just hadn't put up numbers in the major leagues consistently, but we thought that him and pitching coach, what's his name? Off the top of my head, can't remember it. Guy.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Him. Guy.
Pete Walker.
The Pete Walker. Matz is a perfect Pete Walker experiment.
Yeah.
Older, more mature pitcher, so late 20s.
His just
confidence mechanics and just put it all together.
His guitar needed to be tuned.
Oh, very good.
That was so cliche.
No, I haven't heard that. That's a good one. Like that. Write that down. Patent pending.
The trade's going to a shootout with Dallas, so Detroit might get another win.
Oh, they're going to tie Columbus.
Everybody just Montoyo, everybody, you remember Montoyo got grooved not using the bullpen well.
Yeah.
Montoyo's bullpen's decimated again, and the dude is still not making fucking errors, so, I hope...
You'd get another nom.
I haven't seen people, chirp Montoyo as a manager this year, but, I hope nobody does, because, he's...
You know why?
With what he's got, he's doing a fucking damn good job.
Mark, I'm going to tell you exactly why Montoyo has not been chirped.
Why?
Because the Leafs are still playing.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because the same people that are all up on William Nylander and all up on buying Jack Campbell's jersey and then wanting to return it. If you saw that Reddit thing.
That Reddit post is hilarious. So I guess there was a real,
those are the same people chirping the Jays.
From a buddy. And then it was kind of like a PSA. And it was there's been a whole bunch of people, maybe hundreds of people who've bought custom Jack Campbell jerseys.
Why are they custom?
Because they don't have them available.
Is that so it's like my Morgan Riley.
So people are getting these things stitched on.
Yeah,
and when they're custom, you can get them they're
fucking wild.
non-refundable.
Yep.
And everybody's been like the hundreds of people who've got these all want refunds on them, and they can't refund them.
He's had 2 bad games. Jesus fucking Christ.
I have a Timmy Brent jersey.
Like, you do?
Fucking man up and enjoy what you got.
Timmy Brent. Oh, man.
But I just find it hilarious because, like, Leaf fans changes their buying like a girl changes clothes.
God.
Like, we'll quote Cody Perry on
dropping
that.
it. Remember that time?
Quote Cody Perry on that.
Katy Perry quote.
Yeah, I'm quoting Katy
Ian, you're
Perry.
missing all the good shit. You're missing it.
And
Ian's
Mark
listening.
Would
He's
never
like,
quote Katy Perry unless it fucking...
We're calling this episode Katy Perry. We're calling...
Then they'd have to listen to the end.
Good. Got to keep them hooked. Okay, let's end with this. Jack Campbell. How do you think he's been over the past couple games? Or what do you think of Jack Campbell's body of work? Because I just have a couple thoughts. Just generally.
I don't know. I think he's hurt.
Think he's hurt?
Like, I don't think he's right. Like, something's off.
Okay, so looking at... Because I know we talked earlier,
I don't think teams have figured him out. I just think he's looked off.
Yeah, I think he has looked off recently. At the start, you knew he was going to lose some games. He still has a fucking crazy record. He's a read and react goalie. A lot of people were drawing comparisons between him and Felix Potvin just because of the way they play.
Let's not do that.
He nailed it. Jack Campbell nailed it, obviously, because he's emulating him. But he was on Tim and Friends, and in his interview with Tim and Friends, he said it was Marty Turco that he emulates. And I was like, yes, he looks like Marty Turco. Yeah. Just his stance, his... that hybrid way. He's not straight butterfly. He's not like David Rittich. He's more stand-up than anyone else. He's taken a couple shots. Johnny Gaudreau a couple weeks ago walked into the slot below the hash marks, point blank, fired it high. Jack Campbell didn't even go to the butterfly. Yeah. How often does a goalie do that nowadays? Never. Almost never.
You assume they're going to go to the butterfly because
constantly. That's the go-to.
You have to go top shelf to beat them.
Automatic, yeah. Jack Campbell doesn't move because he's reading...
I would have beat him. I would have gone 5-hole.
He's reading the puck off the stick.
Yeah.
Well, if you read the puck off the stick as a goaltender, if you're reading the puck off the stick, it's like reading the newspaper. You know what's going to happen. It's like reading tomorrow's newspaper today.
Yeah.
You imagine stonks? Imagine you could do stonks if you could read tomorrow's newspaper today. That's what Jack Campbell's doing when the shooters are shooting. But because he's not big like Frederick Anderson's big. Yeah. Takes up a lot of room in the net, right? So an off game for Frederick Anderson, the puck still hits him sometimes. Pure butterfly technical.
It's a save that
it just hits him.
Yeah.
Right? Jack Campbell, he's reading the puck off the stick. So yeah, if there's that moment of hesitation or you start guessing, like he did on that shot when he got pulled against on the breakaway against Scheifele.
Yeah, that was bad.
Bit hard.
That was bad.
That's what happens though when you're not reading the puck correctly. Right? It's kind of like, I don't know if they're comparable, but I can't think of a comparison off the top of my head, like what that feels like, but it's almost like
baseball and you're in a roughs patch and you're assuming fastball and a curveball comes and you're 8 miles in front of it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Or if you're on how many golfers are out there?
Before the play happens.
Imagine you fired the last 3 tees, you put them sideways into lakes, and now you're at the tee again, and now there's the cart girl watching. Like, it's kind of like that. It's like, okay, like, now it's in the back of your mind. Instead of just doing the thing you know how to do, instead of reading the puck off the stick, he's guessing just a little bit.
Losing.
You're just guessing that little bit, and that little bit of doubt, is like, I better make this save. Oh, it was a fake shot. He just went backhanded. It happened so fast. So I think he'll be fine, man. I think he'll be fine. He just needs to get a little bit of confidence back.
Too. Like, it's just a couple bad games.
And hang on to your jerseys because Jack Campbell and Dave Rittich might be the Toronto Maple Leafs goaltenders next year.
Yeah, like,
who knows?
Why? Like, I still don't get it. Like, dogs have more rights than us. Okay, should we wrap this up? Yeah, I guess.
Let's wrap this up. Okay, Mark, who do you got in fantasy hockey this coming up this week? Playoffs. Don't forget to start your lineup.
This week it's playoffs, so Gurianov was available, so I already picked him up, so I can't really be biased about. Well, I can be super biased about this since I already picked him up. If Gurianov's there, he play. Well, I guess we're doing this on a Monday. He plays Tuesday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and I think Sunday.
There's a couple teams that do that, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Dope.
Hold them up.
Hold them up. I was so rattled. I looked at one of my teams in the public league that I'm in, the auction salary cap draft that I did, and I saw bye week. I'm like, fuck, are you trying to tell me I missed the playoffs?
Also,
finished second.
Also, if
Crazy.
Jamie Oleksiak is available in your banger league.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie Oleksiak.
Hits, blocks.
15% owned.
Shots.
In the last month, he's ranked 32.
Crazy.
58 hits, 38 blocks. He's literally Gudis 2.0 for the last half of this season.
Yeah, slightly.
And I'm a person who already has Radko Gudis, so...
and slightly less
Gudis
so.
fucking scored today, and he's on my bench.
Wow, good for you.
My
Jeez,
defense is
your
that
boy. Lindell is also not too bad either for plus minus. If you're in a plus minus league, it also gets hits. Also on Dallas.
Bass, baby!
Anything else to add there, Mark?
I got a good Bass game.
Anything else? What's the score in the Montreal-Edmonton game right now? I got Price going. I got Mark's dad in the first round.
0-0, 15 minutes left in the second.
0-0. That's good numbers. All right, well, hopefully Ian's feeling better for next week. Hopefully this weather headache thing that he's got going on is all cleared up. If not, that's bad news bears. Guys, that's it for today's episode. And we'll catch you on the next one. Right, Mark? Say bye.
Yeah, I'll be back. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye, people.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter @DraftInHand.